there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing the wrestling time. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. My dog is barking. But this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing the wrestling time post show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing AEW Dynamite. All right. So AEW Dynamite kicked off with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. I actually really enjoyed this match. This was a good way to kick off Dynamite. And oh my god, typical Orange Cassidy. Like, he put his hands in his pockets, and as Jay Lethal was like crawling up the ramp, he was doing his Orange Cassidy kicks to Jay Lethal, which I thought was so hilarious. Satan Singh was at the top of the ramp, and he distracted Orange Cassidy. Or the spot that I found really hilarious in this match was when Best Friends came out in a trench coat, and they were stacked on top of each other. So it looked like Trent Beretta was on top of Chuck Taylor's shoulders, which was so hilarious because it reminded me of anybody seen the Little Rascals when the kids go inside the bank and they try to get like a loan, I think, or borrow money, and they're on top of each other's shoulders. That's what it reminded me of. And it also reminded me of Austin Powers, where Austin Powers tells Mini-Me, one of us has got to go on the other one's shoulders, and Austin goes on top of Mini-Me's shoulders, which I thought was like so hilarious. But it reminded me of that. Oh my god. Okay. So at one point, it really did look like Jay Lethal was gonna win this match. But then, like, Orange Cassidy kept kicking out. It's like no matter what he did, Orange Cassidy just wouldn't give up. But what ultimately does it was that kick to the knee of Orange Cassidy, and then Jay Lethal hitting the lethal injection. So it was a good opening contest. I really enjoyed the match. But what happened after is where things kind of get interesting. So Sanjay asked Jay Lethal's thoughts on Wardlow. So if you guys recall last week, Wardlow did save Orange Cassidy from Santan San, Jay Lethal, and Sanjay Gunn. So basically, Wardlow comes out afterwards, and so those Best Friends. And we come to find out that at Battle of the Belts 3, Wardlow's going to defend his title against Jay Lethal. And he said it's Wardlow's world, which kind of reminds me of like Bobby's world and Elmo's world. And he said that if he doesn't have the boss, if he's telling Jay Lethal, if he doesn't have the boss to do it tonight, he doesn't care what day, time, and city. He said Wardlow's going to whoop that ass. So I really hope that Wardlow defeats Jay Lethal, because like I feel like ever since he won the TNT title, he really hasn't done much. Honestly, like he's just there. So he needs to win. Otherwise, it would feel like he won the TNT title and then like that was it. But overall, good opening segment, and it sets up a match at Battle of the Belts. All right, so next we get the Undisputed Elite segment. So this was the grand return of the Undisputed Elite. Wardlow is retaining, yeah, probably. So Adam Cole, baby, revealing that he feels good to be back in the ring with his friends, most importantly. But he starts to talk about good match from Lethal and Cassidy. It was fun. It definitely was. So he starts talking about how like he's not medically cleared, which is unfortunate. And he says that he has 5 of the very best, baby, of the talent. And he starts talking about loyalty and about it's loyalty is fighting alongside your brothers. And he came to AEW because of the Young Bucks. And that loyalty is everything. And he says he's traveled everywhere with Kyle O'Reilly. Now he starts talking about to Matt and Nick Jackson. And so if you guys remember, they announced the trios titles last week. So you know where this is going. You guys know where this is going. I even suspected this too. So he tells Matt and Nick Jackson that he will love nothing more for the Undisputed Era to be the winners of this tournament. But he says that he's not medically cleared, and neither is Kyle O'Reilly. And he basically says that the Bucks can't do this tournament. And Adam Cole says the Bucks won't be able to physically do the tournament. And then this is where they attack the Young Bucks. They attack the Young Bucks. And so then Hangman comes out to save the Young Bucks. And he slowly turns to face the Young Bucks. And he walks towards them and offers his hand to Matt Jackson. But during this segment, we see a little boy in the crowd crying. So it seems like, I think we all know what the finals is gonna be. It's gonna be the Undisputed Elite versus the Young Bucks, and probably I thought it was gonna be the Bucks and Omega, not the Bucks and Hangman, but maybe Kenny Omega's not medically cleared yet. Let's see. The heel turn was great by the Undisputed Elite, and now we wonder who is Kenny Omega going to side with. I think when Omega comes back, he's siding with the Undisputed Elite. I don't think so. I think he's going to side with the Bucks, mainly because they were teasing that whole Omega Cole thing. So I really do think that he's going to side with the Bucks. I just don't see how it's going to be the Bucks and Omega versus the Undisputed Elite, I think, at All Out, if he's medically cleared to compete. If not, I can see them doing the Hangman thing. But definitely, that's where it's going to go. Exactly where it's going to go. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think it's going to be the Bucks and Omega versus the Undisputed Elite, or is it going to be the Bucks and Hangman versus the Undisputed Elite for those trio titles? Then we get a Jon Moxley promo, and so he's basically talking about how, like, he doesn't care if it's going to be Chris Jericho or his own comrade Wheeler Yuta, that he doesn't have respect for people when the bell rings, and that when they step in the ring with him, it's not a game. So a very good promo with by Jon Moxley. Then we get a quick backstage segment with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. Like, Jungle Boy, like, tried to kill freaking Christian Cage. He came into that arena in a freaking car and attempted to attack Christian Cage. I'm surprised he even got out of the car and attacked Christian Cage. I thought Homeboy was just gonna try to run over Christian Cage. But seriously, like, Jungle Boy is like, he tried to kill him. And then we have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter versus Thunderstorm, which is Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. But every time I hear Thunderstorm, I always think of the Hunter and Blake Bradley from Power Rangers Ninja Storm, because they were the Thunder Rangers. And then, or I think of the Power Rangers Dino Thunder Ninja Storm crossover, Thunderstorm. So that's just the Power Rangers fan in me going inside. And, I do have the Megazord back here. That was crazy, Jungle Boy. This year's going to be awesome. It definitely is. So I really like the matching outfits between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. I thought they were really cool. Now, Thunder Rosa and Jamie and Toni Storm really worked well together. And that whole ending sequence was cool. So, like, you had one moment you had Britt and Thunder Rosa stare at each other's faces. Obviously, old rivals. And I liked when Toni Storm suplexed Britt and Thunder Rosa suplexed Hayter. Then the hip attack to Britt by Rosa and the hip attack to Hayter by Storm. I thought those were really cool spot. But Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter are victorious. I'm not entirely sure where they're going to go with this feud now. It seems like it's just tag action. I don't know. I kind of feel like the AEW women's title has taken a back seat. But I will say this was a really good match. The ladies killed it, and we need more of this in AEW. Good match. Good match. Rosa and Storm make a good team, and they work well together. Yeah, they do. But Rosa is the AEW Women's Champion. She should be defending that title, but instead she's in a tag team match. But I don't know. But again, good match. We need more of this on Dynamite. Like, the weird thing is, we had one women's match tonight, and we didn't even have like a random backstage segment between like Jay Cargill or anything like that. It was literally just one match. So I don't know what's going on, but it was good. But then again, there is that saying, quality over quantity. I guess it's better to have one good women's match than to have 3 matches and they're like terrible matches. So you can't beat them all. Then we get Eddie Kingston segment. Let me see. We got Anna Jay's cringe backstage though. Yeah, but that was just that was her with JSA. It wasn't her by herself. So Eddie Kingston basically says, congratulates Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti on their wedding, but he says nobody cares, and he's got a receipt coming for him, so he's gonna challenge Guevara at All Out. And let me tell you, I cannot wait for All Out. I might be going to All Out, but I'll let you guys know. Then we get Team Taz saying that Team Taz is dead. And I mean, how could it not be after Powerhouse Hobbs turned on Ricky Starks? Hook won the FTW title from Starks. I don't know where Brian Cage got kicked out last year. So how could Team Taz not be dead? So we have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ren Jones. This was basically a squash match. Let's call it what it is. It was a squash match. This is to reestablish, I'm assuming this is to reestablish Powerhouse Hobbs. Team Taz has been dead for over a year. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It has been. So, yeah. So, obviously, like I said, nothing more than a glorified squash match. Then Ricky Starks comes out and he goes after Hobbs. But Powerhouse Hobbs hit him with the spine buster. So, their feud's going to continue. I think it's going to lead to Hobbs versus Starks at All Out. At the rate this is going. Then we get Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. And I actually really like this match. Matt Hardy and Christian Cage can still go at their ages. You know, my favorite spot in this match was when Hardy attempted to do the elbow from elbow drop on the table to Christian Cage, but he moved. So Matt Hardy ended up going through the table himself. I was like, ouch. And I like how commentary made note that Matt Hardy can counter the kill switch just like Christian Cage can counter the elbow. So it's really, Matt Hardy and Christian Cage know each other. Come on, from their days of the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian. So I'm not surprised they put on a banger of a match. Oh, I had to change the result on this. So Luchasaurus, after the match is over, Luchasaurus comes out in his black gear and his heel music, and he distracts Christian Cage while Jungle Boy enters the ring with a steel chair, and then Christian Cage runs away. So, I don't know why Luchasaurus is still coming out in his black gear and his heel music. I mean, is he going to turn on Jungle Boy, or is that was just a ploy? Like, I really liked heel Luchasaurus, and I was so disappointed that they quickly ended that. Really. And then we get a Daniel Garcia promo. He's basically talking about how he is the Dragon Slayer and how it wasn't just a big win. It was the biggest win in AEW history. And he calls himself the greatest technical sports entertainer of all time. And he says that he will go on to slay the dragon. And so I was a little confused when he was talking because I was like, wait, didn't Daniel Garcia make Bryan Danielson faint, not tap out? I had to like double check my notes. And yeah, like he made Bryan Danielson pass out. Bryan didn't tap out. He passed out. But I guess in his head and in his eyes, he made Bryan Danielson tap out. So it seems like this feud may not be over. And I cannot wait to see what happens. I mean, are we going to get a rematch? So I cannot wait. Luchasaurus is still going to turn on Jungle Boy. Well, I didn't. If this is going to be the case, I really didn't like how they did it. Then All Ego Ethan Page comes out in the ring. This is a separate segment. He starts talking to people at home and in the arena, asking why he's not on TV every single week and why he doesn't have an action figure. He says that people are first in line for the CM Punk t-shirt or Orange Cassidy t-shirt or the BS that Kingston spits out, but yet nobody's first in line for him. And so then Stokely Hathaway hands Ethan Page a business card and he leaves with Stokely Hathaway. Now, I've been saying this for a while now. If you watch my reviews, I've been saying this and I will continue to say this. I honestly feel like Ethan Page hasn't really done anything in AEW. He still hasn't been champion. He and Scorpio Sky, when they were teaming together, should have won the tag titles at some point. And it's kind of ironic that Ethan Page left Impact Wrestling, I guess, for more money. And yet his former tag team partner, Josh Alexander, has become Impact World Champion. And is pretty much the face of Impact Wrestling. But yet Ethan Page, yeah, he's had good matches, but has yet to do has yet to win any type of gold, and he's been in AEW for what, a year now, I think. So, I'm very curious to see where this goes. What happened to America Top Team? They just disbanded. They separated. Where's Paige Van Zandt exactly? Like, I thought she was gonna be like a heavy hitter or a big major player, but she's not. So again, very intrigued where this Ethan Page segment goes. I don't know. Will he finally become champion? Will he finally capture some type of gold? I guess we gotta wait and see. That segment made me yawn. I think Stokely Hathaway setting up a group like Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, and another guy. But who would be the other guy? I guess, who knows? All right, then we get a backstage segment with Jericho Appreciation Society. It's Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, and Anna Jay. So this is a whole parody of the sports entertainment thing, because Angelo Parker keeps calling the AEW fans AEW Galaxy and keeps saying appreciate us. And Anna Jay, with her sexiest and toughest, like a parody of Bianca Belair's EST gimmick. And the thing that I did think was cringy was that she said she's gonna choke anybody out, or would choke out and ends up choking out an AEW staff member. Then we get the really fun tag team dumpster matches, the Gun Club versus the Acclaim. And you guys, last week during their music video, they basically called the Gun Club trash, hence why we got this dumpster match. Now we give Anna Jay a mic again. She's terrible. So one of the things that they said during this rap, during Max Caster's rap, was he said, "No filter, we ain't Instagram. We're gonna make the ass boys retire like Vince McMahon." And then they mentioned more positive, something about Biden. Give me 1 second, guys. I do apologize for that. But I thought this was a really fun match. Of course, the Acclaim attack the Gun Club before the match even starts. They attack the Gun Club. So, oh my god, I really like this match. It was a fun little match. My favorite spot in this match, of course, has to be the ending when Max. Okay, so like Austin Gunn got to the top of the tunnel by the entrance, and then Max Caster threw him from the top of the tunnel into the dumpster, and then he hit the mic drop to Colton from the top of the tunnel onto a table, which I thought was pretty cool. That dumpster match was awesome. That Vince burn was great. Love how the Acclaim brought back nostalgia by pushing the dumpster off the stage, like New Age Outlaws versus Mick Foley and Terry Funk. Yeah. And so after the match was over, the Acclaim just pretty much pushed the trash can, the dumpster, off the ramp, which was pretty cool. So that's them taking out the trash. I don't know. I guess that means the rivalry is over. So I don't know where the Gun Club or the Acclaim go from here, but yeah, wait and see. So we got a couple of announcements. So we're gonna have Mance Warner face off against Jon Moxley on Rampage. The Lucha Brothers versus Rush and Andrade at Quick at the Lake in a tornado tag. Jay Cargill will have an open challenge at Quick in the Lake, and a coffin match between Brody King versus Darby Allin. So AEW revealed today that Madison Rayne will be the head coach, will be the coach of the women's division, and she is set to start her role in her hometown tonight. There is a spoiler going out there for her in-ring debut on Rampage, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, especially for those that actually like watching Dark. I don't want to spoil it for them. But I wonder what this means for Impact Wrestling. Madison Rayne coming from Impact Wrestling. She's one half of the Influence, her tag team partner being Tenille Dashwood. So I haven't heard anything about her contract expiring or about her being released from her contract. So I'm very curious to see what the situation is here, because I mean, she might get written off of Impact for temporarily. I don't know. So with Impact being tomorrow, I guess we might find out tomorrow. Or we might not find out to the next set of tapings. I don't know. But very curious to see what this whole situation with Madison Rayne and Impact Wrestling and AEW. All right, so in the main event, we got Chris Jericho versus Wheeler Yuta. If Yuta wins, he would take Chris Jericho's spot again in his match against Jon Moxley. So of course, like Jericho doesn't come out alone. He comes out with Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. So to even out the odds, Claudio Castelloni also comes out to the ring. This was a good match. Freaking Chris Jericho, like, played up the heel tactics pretty well. But before I get into what he did, like, when Angelo Parker and Matt Menard get ejected from ringside, the crowd starts chanting, na, 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 goodbye, which I thought was, like, so hilarious. It really was. So what ends up happening is that at some point, Chris Jericho grabs his bat Floyd, and Audrey Edwards has her back turned because, like, she sees that. So she has her back turned to that, throwing the bat out. And when she's got her back turned, he low blows Wheeler Yuta. And then he put Wheeler Yuta into the walls of Jericho. Predictable. Jericho wasn't losing his spot for that title. And so Jericho ends up winning by submission. And I have to agree, this match was a little bit predictable. I didn't think they would do Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta, two members of the Bullet Club, Blackpool Combat Club, going at it just yet. So I think it was pretty obvious Jericho was going to win this. So at the end, like, Jericho refuses to let Yuta go from the walls of Jericho. So, like, Moxley comes out of the crowd. And of course, typical heel, Jericho runs away, and he tells Moxley that he unleashed a demon and opened Pandora's box. That he wants Lionheart Jericho, he's going to get it. He's going to stretch the shit out of Moxley. And that is how Dynamite ends. Overall, good episode. Very good episode. There's, aside from that Anna Jay cringe promo that I disliked, there's really not much that let me see, thoughts on AEW video game. It looks great. It definitely does look great. But there's not much that I disliked about tonight's show. The women's match was amazing. I wish we would get more of that, though. I really do. But the main event, as good as it was predictable. So I have to knock it down for a point for that. So I would give tonight's episode a 9 out of 10. I thought it was that good, but predictable. And I cringe. Thank you for saying that. LOL. Apologize for that. Oh, 9 out of 10. By the way, going to the Raw in October. Really? What made you go to the Raw in October? But, so 9 out of 10 for tonight. But with that being said, this concludes this review. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And if I don't see you guys tomorrow for Impact Wrestling, I'll see you guys on Friday. Actually, I think Rampage is live on Friday. So if it's live, that means I would see you guys after SmackDown on Friday. So have a great night. Oh, and since it is Power Month, have a great night. May the power protect you all. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.